music video or something. You know what I mean?
Doing that.
Let me see that. Do that yoga.
You feel? Hey, we might have to make that a song.
It is a
Yes,
song.
sir. Is it?
That's Janelle Monáe.
man.
Janelle Monáe. Yeah.
Oh,
But
is
maybe
it?
you can make the remix.
Oh yeah, tell her put me on that joint. You feel
Janelle
me?
Monáe featuring Young Tito.
Yeah, we make that hot, super hot.
Yes. Let me see you do that.
You feel me?
Question number 3. Another serious question. You know, Facebook, one of your movies on there was What the Health, which it caught my attention because I had seen that. It's a documentary. For those listeners who don't know, it's a documentary kind of about, has to do with veganism a little bit, but it's also, it talks about all the kind of craziness and corruption that's in the meat industries and the dairy industries, and also all these other industries, you know, like Cancer Society and all these other ones that are supposed to be helping people, but they're kind of just, really, they're functioning to profit off of people's illnesses.
Yeah, facts.
And so anyway, the reason I brought that up is I want to know, as a boxer, what kind of diet, what kind of guidelines do you stick to when you're training and stuff like that?
Well, for me as a boxer, I'm a pescatarian, so I still eat seafood. You know, some seafoods, not all of them, but I still eat some seafoods.
Right.
For me, it's really not even like my daily lifestyle is basically a diet. You know, my favorite thing besides like eating healthy, it's like hard chocolate. But I still eat 85% dark chocolate, you know, so that's even good for the bloodstream. And
sure,
anything
yeah.
under 70% is kind of not good. So with me, I have a very strict diet. When I'm in full training camps, I have a very strict diet. I eat 3 times a day, a snack in between. I don't eat till 2 p.m. I stop eating at 7 p.m. You know, so I have a fasting period too, from 7 all the way to 2 p.m. the next day, which I'm still sipping on water, you know, things like that. But to get into the documentary, if you look at, like, for instance, milk. You know, a lot of people still drink milk, which I don't judge anybody for what they drink or they eat or anything like that. But you have to look at everything that they're putting on the label and that they're not putting on the label. I mean, do you go and like people drink cow's milk from another,
Right.
You know, but won't drink like the mother's milk. So it's just like how, you know, and with the pus and the separation of the milk and. You know, the coloring of it.
Well, and not to mention, the documentary also points out that almost 95% of, specifically I think Black Americans is what they said, are lactose intolerant.
Yeah.
And so most people's bodies don't even accept dairy. But the dairy industry and society is still pushing so hard this idea that cow's milk is somehow a nutritious part of our diet.
Yeah.
You know, and really it's almost poisoning us.
Yeah.
You know, might sound harsh and crazy because all of us have grown up thinking that, like, you know, milk is this thing. It's like milk grows you strong bones, you know, stuff like that. But it's really interesting to hear those kind of facts.
Yeah. I mean, you have to think about this, right? Like, would you for a lot of Americans that's drinking milk, and these are just it's just the truth. For a lot of Americans that's drinking milk to this day, like, are you still drinking your mother's milk to this day? Are you still, you know, once you get off of it and she dries up, then you have to, like, you stop drinking it. But you're basically being babied from when you were a baby all the way up into whenever you die. Like, and if people think about that, you know, that's a really large margin. You could literally pour milk in a bottle and a baby's bottle and drink it. You might as well. When I stopped drinking milk and I turned into a pescatarian, you know, and stopped eating dairy and stuff like that, and cheese and all of that stuff, I was able to get my weight off quicker.
Right.
I became faster and stronger. I could fluctuate either way it go. I started winning more championships back to back in the amateurs. You know, so my body just did a complete 360.
Makes sense. I mean, I'll just add that, you know, the biggest cause of disease in the USA is saturated fat. It leads to the biggest killer, which is heart disease. It leads to many other diseases like dementia and Alzheimer's. And the number one source for that is milk.
Yeah.
Going back to your diet, pescatarianism, is basically it's vegetarianism with seafood added, right?
Yeah.
And so you're saying you also take the dairy out of that.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And you've noticed a big difference then.
A huge difference.
Yeah.
I mean, even to this day,